Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's noon edition of Reel to Reel. My name is Angelo, and joining me is my co-host Tanner.
Right you are, Angelo. Today we will be taking a look at Pharrell Williams' blocky biopic, Piece by Piece.
And if you are just joining us now, be sure to check our morning show where Ellie Mae and Nathan take a look at Saturday Night, the story leading up to the first episode of SNL.
Also, be sure to subscribe on YouTube or follow on Facebook. We're here almost every week of the academic year, checking out the newest movies.
And without further ado, let's take a look at the trailer for Piece by Piece.
Go ahead on the set.
Hey, Pharrell.
Hey, how you doing, man? You know what'd be cool is if we told my story with Lego pieces.
Seriously?
Yes.
Lego.
Just be open.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
When I was a kid, I knew I was different. And people would say, oh, that's an odd child. And that crushed my spirit. But I loved music. It was mesmerizing to me. I would see beautiful hues of light cascading. I just thought that's what all black kids did, stared into the speaker like, whoa.
She's up all night to the sun.
Music was just coming out of me. I need to show the world what I can do.
Hi, Pharrell. I need help on this rap.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty simple. Just let it bounce.
He just went in the room and freestyled it.
It's Teddy, ready with the 1-2 check.
All I cared about was making my own music, but people just said
No.
I wasn't ready.
You can't be me, I'm a rock star.
This song is ridiculous.
Who did that?
Pharrell. Wow. My imagination would run super wild.
Dun, 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 dun. Drop it like it's hot.
I was always a bad gangster, but you brought out a smile.
Hell yeah.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
That feels great.
Clap along if you
I firmly believe that everybody has talent, beauty, and potential.
Keep open our eyes to a whole different perspective.
Thank you, Clap along if you know what happiness is to you.
Woo! Holy moly, guacamole. Legendary story, yeah?
Piece by piece.
Wow.
Man, this is gonna be a Lego movie, bruh.
Piece by Piece follows the life and career of Pharrell Williams as he tries to navigate the music industry and establish himself as a producer and artist.
Piece by Piece also explores Williams' relationship with music and how his perception of it informs his composition and producing. It also dives into the background of his most famous songs like Get Lucky, Frontin', and Happy, as well as his work with other artists and bands.
Many of the artists that Williams worked with throughout his career reprised themselves for interviews and the dramatization of his story, which includes many recognizable names from hip-hop, rap, and pop, including Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, Gwen Stefani, and many more.
Piece by Piece was directed by Morgan Neville, who you might recognize from some of his other non-fictional works, such as the biography of Fred Rogers, Won't You Be My Neighbor, and 20 Feet from Stardom, a documentary about background singers that perform in concerts for some of the biggest stars.
Now let's take a look at a clip from the movie to see what it's all about.
And I loved music. Like everybody loves music, but I'm realizing I had a different kind of relationship with it. Like it was mesmerizing to me. I didn't even know that I was mesmerized. I just thought that's what all black kids did. I thought we all just stared into the speaker like, whoa.
Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy.
I was seeing colors. It's called synesthesia. It's not something that you see with your physical eyes. It's something that you see in your mind's eye.
Trying your best to bring the water to your eyes. Thinking it might stop her from whipping your behind.
They really use a lot of color in the movies, especially with all the Legos.
Yeah, did you know that that clip was part of the first proof of concept that Morgan Neville used to get Lego's approval for the project?
Well, I guess that since they own the product, they had to go and approve it before it went into production. And did you know that why Williams insisted on making the movie instead of a normal biography?
No, I don't. Why did he want that?
Okay. Well, he wanted to make something more unique and was very uninterested in a more traditional documentary. But in Lego, he saw something that could align to his standard of storytelling. He also wanted to make something that his kids could relate to and understand their father's story.
Did you know that Lego actually developed new pieces for the movie?
Oh, wow, really? What'd they make?
They actually made boombox pieces and turntable pieces, and they made some new ones that they could help use to recreate a recording studio. They also made new hair pieces that better represented African Americans, and they also were responsible for all the custom minifigures that they made for all the characters in the movie.
I didn't know that they made new pieces very often. So now on to the box office side. So far, Piece by Piece has made $7.7 million, including $3.8 million on the premiere weekend. It cost about $16 million, so it's made about half of what's cost so far.
It'll be interesting to see if they can turn a profit. Reviews have been very positive for Piece by Piece, which has a score of 84% by critics and a 90% by audiences on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right. So now before we get into our review, we'll take a little break.
Hi, this is Peter, and he's in the animation program. I got to experience everything, and I just signed up to do animation. The on-set experience was something that I wasn't expecting, but I'm very grateful for. Amazing instructors, John, Rich, and for me, Todd and Nolan.
I'll put my glasses on the floor.
This is Abram. He does stuff.
Right now we could get a waterfall. So I've always really been interested in video editing and video production. Ended up coming here to Hennepin Tech to learn more and expand my repertoire. There's definitely a side of a social side to it.
At first, I was unsure about the choice to animate Piece by Piece in Lego, but after the first few minutes, I really understood why. Pharrell and the animators used the flexibility of Lego to illustrate his worldview and his synesthesia. It's a very novel idea, especially in the context of a somewhat traditional interview-style documentary, and I think that it also helped to retain my attention. It stays visually interesting throughout, often showcasing bright colors that capture not only the mood of the scene, but also Pharrell's mental state, as the color mutes and darkens when he starts to struggle with his career and loss. The Lego style also lent itself very well to visual gags that got me to chuckle. Among my favorite, spoiler warning, is when Pharrell and Chad go to Snoop Dogg's house and they have a producer fill their room with PG spray. However, I think that the only part of the movie that suffered from the Lego style was the audio, which felt sometimes clipped together and somewhat disjointed. But this was a more minor issue. The film's more emotional moments caught me off guard, as it made more of a positive and optimistic story, but it was able to convey the mood very well. Aside from the color elements which I mentioned earlier, the framing helps to get the emotions across. For example, in his lowest point, in his imagination, he feels trapped at sea, which draws from a frequent metaphor that they used to portray Pharrell's creativity. This contrasts well with his reality, which is framed tightly in small spaces that Lego works well to frame with. Overall, this is a fun movie that, while rated PG, still feels perfectly suited for adults. I really enjoyed it, and I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5 reels.
For me, Piece by Piece was a mind-shifting experience. Before I watched the movie, I couldn't tell you that I knew too much about Pharrell Williams, other than the song Happy. But after I watched and found out how many famous songs and artists he produced for, I was amazed by his music prowess. I didn't know that he worked with Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z, or Snoop Dogg, just to name a couple. It really is just a biography told to us through the lens of Lego, which I believe was just a wonderful idea. The freedom that Lego brought out to show the audience how each character felt or to show impossibilities was perfect. And instead of seeing facial expressions, When people were blown away, their heads would just pop off. When they saw the collaboration between Pharrell and Gwen Stefani, we saw two completely different worlds combined, and I believe it was spectacular. Piece by piece, to use Legos to show the story so well. The story was really good too. Seeing the ups and downs of Pharrell's life was real, and I felt I could somewhat understand the struggles of his life. Overall, I'll give Piece by Piece 4 out of 5 reels.
Thank you for joining us today on Reel to Reel.
If you like the show, you can visit our YouTube channel and watch us on Facebook. We have live shows on Fridays and 10:30 and noon.
Tell us your opinion about the movie in the comments below. Was our review good? Or are we just a couple of blockheads spouting some nonsense?
Blockhead is a little harsh, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, sometimes we can be kind of, I don't know, stupid sometimes, I guess.
Well, I don't know who we is. I think you need to speak for yourself, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, personally, I like to think of myself as a more sophisticated type of movie reviewer, watcher. I mean, you can keep the blockhead part. Your head should definitely
I
fit
don't know. I feel like kind of a cone head sometimes, so.
Well, I mean, the looks work. The looks really.
I mean, the movie was pretty good, so.
The movie was good, yeah.
And I'm.
Yeah, definitely the blockhead. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, until next time, I'm Angelo.
And I'm Tanner. This is Reel to Real.
Yep.